The game with YouTube is all attention. It's two things: getting attention and keeping it. We did 1.6 million last year.
Shout out.
I counted up my subs. We have over 3 million subs across our channels. So when I say the only way to make passive income right now that I'm doing that I've heard of is YouTube channels. YouTube makes sense. We talking about where can you spend $130,000 and make $15,000 a month. There's no real estate property doing that.
Nah.
So if you don't have money, that's what we call flipping channels. You can actually go find deals for investors like myself. You just go to YouTube. That's where the deals are, right? That's where channels are. And you reach out to people asking if they want to sell their channel. No money involved, right? I just made 10K in 3 days last week doing the same thing that I'm teaching. So this can change people's lives.
Man, welcome back to the Rob the Savage podcast. I got a special guest today, Billy Bands.
What's good? What's good, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm honored to have you on here, man. You know, even though we boys, you killing it out here, man.
Yeah, man, I'm honored to be here. This is a long time coming. I remember we were sitting down, this was an idea, and how big it's gotten. I'm honored, man. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you, man. Man, like, we're gonna dive into this, man, because me and you both got a spiritual connection, bro. Regardless of our professions that we in. But I'm gonna give you the floor, man, and kind of explain to everybody your upbringing, your story, and we'll dive into everything else. So, who is Billy Bands, bro?
Man, that's a good question. Who is Billy Bands? Well, first and foremost, it's two people. You know, it's kind of that Beyonce Sasha Fierce thing.
Okay.
You got William Beaird. William Beaird is a kid that grew up. Dad was military.
Okay.
I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia. Grew up in Nashville. Dad passed away at 6 from cancer. Lost my brother a year prior to RSV. And so William Beaird was a kid that was just scared. Just out here trying to figure out, well, if I lose my mom, where do I go from here? Because I see what's in Georgia and I see what the other side of the family is doing. So I was always just trying to get some money and take care of my mom, take care of myself. And I saw a fearless woman. You know, we didn't have a car. She would rollerblade with me to school. So, you know, put me in sports, keep me in the community. And I have to really thank Nashville. I have to thank a lot of people that came and stepped up, these organizations, Backward in Motion. They kept me in sports. They kept me grounded. But William Beaird, personally, is someone that I grew up in fear, and I had to reinvent myself and realize you can't live in fear. And so now I live fearlessly. And Billy Bands is the one that you see today. The one you see traveling the world, that you see taking risk, that you see helping the community, helping bring people along, make a lot of people a lot of money, having fun in the process. But yeah, so my upbringing, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, played football at Grisada Naval Academy, played high school ball at Brentwood Academy. Shout out to Beaird. Transferred to Middle Tennessee State, where I finished up.
Sorry to hear
that. Yeah. They ain't doing too high right now, but finished up in Middle Tennessee State. And man, at college is really where I started. That's where Billy Bands was invented, because I was playing football. I was like, man, I want to get some money. Like it's kids. I mean, shout out to Kevin Beaird, shout out to Richard James, a lot of guys in the NFL, but these guys were stars on the team, no cars. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple fits. And I'm like, man, this don't make sense. So I started finding ways to make money early. And for me, it was e-commerce. So I started a clothing line. I started flipping sneakers. I had a whole bunch of side hustles. But what really interested me one day was one of my teammates was talking about how stocks was taking care of his college. I'm like, what's that? He's like, yeah, my granddad started me a stock account, a broker account, and so my college is paid. We was walk on. I'm like, tell me more about that. But I knew the only way to really get the game was you got to go find someone that's already doing it. He wasn't giving me too much game, so I said, you know what? I'm going to change my major to finance. And that changed my life because I started understanding how to make money, how to multiply it, how to keep it. And from there, I started trading on the side, started trading stocks in college. And from college, I got a 9-to-5 job. And I won't get too deep into that, but you know the 9-to-5 world. You do it, you think you're doing well, and then you live in paycheck to paycheck. I found myself, one check would pay for food, The other check had to pay for rent. So I'm like literally 2 weeks holding my breath. Like, okay, I can't do nothing. Even having to go do Uber. And I'm working in corporate America at this point.
And how old are you at this time?
I'm like 21, 22.
Okay. So
Yeah,
young,
22, yeah.
Young adult.
Living in Florida.
Yeah.
Working in construction. And I'm making like $72K a year. And you would think, well, okay, that's pretty cool right out of college.
Yeah, what's that?
You would think it's pretty cool out of college, but I end up, it's what they say, you make more money, you spend more money. They say, I'm in a chokehold. I'm like, I got rent, I got car, I got insurance, I got all these expenses, and I gotta hold my breath every 2 weeks. In my 2 week, you get paid twice a month. One check take care of expenses, another check take care of your fund. And I'm like, something got to give, man. And at the time, the only thing I knew how to do was trade. So I started doing that on the side and started getting really good at it.
Okay.
And I started teaching people how to do it on the job site. And we talking about 50-year-old, 60-year-old men.
Yeah.
And they all making money. I get called into the office for this. Like, oh, we heard you on your phone a lot. You causing a ruckus.
So your job, found out that you were doing it?
Yeah, people started talking. You know how jobs are.
Okay.
Like, man,
that's wild.
Like this dude making money. I'm making more in a day than I'm making in the job in a month.
Right.
And at this time I'm trading, so people know I'm trading gold. So I was trading commodities, gold, oil, and I was trading XRP Ripple. It's a cryptocurrency. And I stuck to those. And I started doing well, started teaching people. And after they come into the office, and I started getting in trouble for it. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm a boss. I shouldn't even be here. I quit cold turkey. I'm 7 months into the job, quit cold turkey. Now you got to figure out, well, how you going to pay this rent? How you going to pay this car note? And because the only thing I had at that time was the trading money. And I was reinvesting that. And I still, blowing accounts, figuring things out. So a frat brother, shout out to the Sigmas. He said, you can come sleep on my, he didn't say the floor. He said, you come sleep with my crib, bro. Come on. Yeah. So I pack up everything, and I go to his crib, and I'm like, bro, I don't even want a bed. I don't want an air mattress. I'll sleep on the floor. Just give me a pillow. He's like, you sure? I'm like, I don't want to be comfortable. You got your lady here. You got a moving company. You're doing well. I don't even want to be comfortable. I got to be doing 10 times more than what you're doing.
Not real shit. That's real.
And I learned then something my coach always told me: the fastest way from point A to point B is a straight line. If you're trying to get some money, go find some people getting some money. And they'll give you the plan to get there. So he had some friends. He had guys that were doing digital marketing. They were doing Amazon. All these things you see on Instagram and people doing webinars, they were really doing it. And this is 2017.
Right.
So these guys are making 6 figures selling on Amazon. He had another friend that was had a digital marketing agency. He was working with roofers and contractors. He had another friend that was trading stocks, day trader. And he had all these great friends, and it was like a mastermind, bro. I can't even make this up. Every day they come over, and they doing their thing. Some of them smoking, whatever. They doing their thing, and they all mastermind. I'm like, bro, this is different. They ain't talking about people. It ain't no gossip going on. Ain't no hating going on. And they knew that I had it in me, and they would just hand me books. One guy took a liking to me. He would hand me a book. He'd be like, read that. And he would just give me game and just see how I would take it. And everything he gave me, I consumed. I read the book. I'm studying. I'm still trading, still making my money. And that's when I came up with an idea called Munchie Box, because all of them was getting the munchies. They would always be over there smoking, and they would always have to go to the store and get snacks. And I'm like, man, y'all got I was like, I always had the best snacks. It was like, man, you always got the best snacks. So I came with the idea of Munchie Box. And this is before GoPuff came out, Instacart and all that. So I would take all the candies, put them in a box, and I would just sell them to them. Like, I give you this box for 30. It'd be like honey buns, Skittles, all that. Like, I'll find out what they was liking. And I started taking my trading money, and I started putting it into Munchie Box, building the website. And I'm like, man, if I could sell this, I started doing the numbers. I'm like, if this box is 30 and I can sell this many, I can make $1 million. So I started doing the money math.
Right.
And that's what got me into the online world. I tell that story because I started realizing, well, if you got a product or service, you'll never go broke if you figure out how to continuously sell that product or service to a lot of people. So I started running Facebook ads, and people ain't taking the boxes. I'm giving them away for free. I'm like, free Munchie Box. And I'm like, why nobody ain't taking this?
Yeah.
And so now I know today is that if you give somebody something free, you got to give them a reason why you giving it to them. Nobody ever gonna take something for free. They gonna automatically think what's wrong with it. Right.
Sure. That's so I'm gonna say this, man. So you just unloaded a lot on us right there. So as you get around the people with wealth, and they giving you the game step by step, you picking it up from them too, and you applying it to your own thing, especially with the Munchie Box. Are you still in your homeboy's crib?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you spiritually at this moment with your mindset? Like, okay, I like how you also said that for our viewers, how you told him, no, I don't want to be in no bed because that's gonna make me comfortable. That's 100. So spiritually wise, in your mind, how was you going at it right? How would you feel at that moment? Like, I'm gonna make it, or you was having doubts?
Man, I was 100% like, I'm gonna make it. It's weird because when I was working the job, I was spiritually done. I'm like, man, I shouldn't be here. Like, your inner self is talking to you like, I should not be doing this right now.
I'm gonna cut you off on that right there, bro. That's literally how I be feeling in my own life. Like, the jobs I've had when I was younger, I was like, man, something that's in me, I ain't supposed to be doing this.
Right.
That's how I felt my corporate. I was like, I cannot. I think this quit.
Candace told me this. She had her own job, making money. Something ain't feeling right. She stopped, and then boom, she got her own production company. Like, you have to feed into yourself. And I think a lot of people get stuck on the security of having that job. They don't want to express they whole truth that they have in them to go out there and get it as an entrepreneur. It has to be built in you.
Right.
But
well, you know what changes that too? Like, for me, when I was working in 9 to 5, I didn't have a mentor, so the books was a mentor. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna read these books: Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, The Millionaire Fast Lane. That's all I needed. When I read those books, it gave me that confidence. It's like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And it's something about when you jump off that cliff that there's always something under you. You think it ain't nothing down there. When you jump, that's when you reach that next level. So spiritually, when I was at the job, I was done for it. When I did quit the job, I felt liberated. I felt free. So when I was on that floor, they knew it. They could feel it. Like, man, this man gonna make more than us. They would say it. They're like, bro, you gonna be better than us because you just got it. You missing something. And at that time, I knew what I was missing was pretty much just believing and in the action part. I was literally, man, I mean, you can go look at some of my highlights on Instagram. I was trying to sell everything, bro. Like, I'm selling bamboo charcoal toothpaste, bamboo I'm like trying to figure this thing out. I'm up all night creating funnels. I'll get into that, when the shift happened. But when I was on the floor, I had to realize this is your preparation stages. Okay. You get in the information now. You ain't got to do too much right now. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. Follow what these people doing. Look at their routines. What are they doing? How are they moving? And I started realizing the dudes that's making money, they could communicate well. They had really great skills. They had skill sets. They could market themselves well. They could communicate well. They were knowledgeable. They always were consuming information. They were teachable. And that's what I took from them. Like, these guys never feel like they know it all. And
that's major. That's major, man. Because I think a lot of people get caught up in, especially, I say there's a lot of alpha men. I call myself an alpha man. Sometimes you get caught up in, you think you know it, everything, and don't be teachable.
Right.
That's why I say they always say the best, case in point, they say the best to be a Sigma man because you kind of got that same alpha mentality, but you're still listening.
Right. You know when to cut it on, turn it off.
Most deaf. Wow, that's deep, man. So, okay, so you're doing your thing. You're finding out how the whole internet really works.
Right.
When did this shift come for you?
So it got to a point where I'm like, all right, Munchie Box is doing all right. It was doing decent. I'm still trading, but I was like, it's time for me to go. You know, when you get to that point, you're like, all right, I done learned all I can learn here. If I stay here, I'm gonna just keep being under. You only gonna make as much as the person that's teaching you. Right? If your mentor is 100 million, you think you're gonna make more than that? Possibly, maybe a little bit more, but not too much. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go because these people are people get in their own way where they're not teachable no more. I started seeing that. So I leave, I come back to Nashville. I'm on my mom's couch now. So I upgraded from the floor to the couch. And at this point, I discovered sales funnels. They call it ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels is just a software. But I discovered sales funnels. And what sales funnels taught me is that, okay, you can put together a product or service and you can sell it to people on autopilot, because it's pretty much like if I click your website, what is a website? A website is like me walking into a store and nobody saying nothing to me. I'm just looking around.
Right.
I'm just looking around, shopping, and you leave. Because you're like, well, shit, ain't nobody saying. But a funnel is you walk into the store, hey, how you doing? What can I help you with today? Oh, I need a grill. Oh, okay, you doing a barbecue? You doing a 4th of July? Yeah, let me take you to the grills. Right. Well, you need some food too. Let me walk you to the food. You also need some charcoal. You also need this. That's what a funnel does. So when I discovered that, I'm like, bro, I'm on now. It's kind of like getting the plug. I'm like, I'm on now. So I'm in my mom's crib. When I tell you, I wasn't eating. I was barely showering. It's embarrassing to say, but I was at that computer locked because I knew this was going to change my life.
Yeah.
And that's how you know what you should be doing. When you get to that point where it doesn't matter how much money you're making, all you want to do is put money into it. All you want to do is put your time into it, your attention into it, and you don't even want to sleep. That's how you know what you should be doing. That's when the pivot came. And so she's like, you're not going to eat? You going to? No, I'm researching. I'm writing webinars by hand. I'm writing all kind of things by hand. I'm like, I got to figure this out, because if I figure this out, our life going to change. And so that's when the pivot started to happen. At that time too, I connected with a friend from high school that was doing real estate. Yep. And I'm like, okay, I got to make some money in between this, because I'm spending money trying to figure this out. I got to make some income. At the time, he was doing a thing called wholesaling real estate, which means he was finding these real estate properties and flipping the contracts to investors. And so, because flippers don't have time to go find a house. Right. If I'm a rehabber, I'm flipping a house, I don't go look for that house. Somebody brings me the deal, and they already bring it to me together. Oh, this is what the numbers look like. And then you get that contract and you flip the house. So the best way to explain it is deal finders. I'm driving around Nashville. I'm looking at all these ugly beat up houses with tall grass in them. I'm writing down the address, and then I'm cold calling the owner. It's some gritty work. Cold calling the owner, and then, okay, Mr. Owner, Mr. Seller, your house, you want $120,000 for it? I go meet with them, give them some cookies. I can give you $100,000 for it, and we can close in 30 days, or we can close in 14 days, whenever you want to close. Well, yeah, I do need some money. I'm getting old, and okay, I'll take $100,000 for it. Well, guess what? The house is really, they wanted 120. I got them down to 100,000. I just made 20,000. Because I'm gonna sell it to the investor for 120. Right. The investor gonna get that 120, that house for 120. They gonna make it better. They gonna put the risk into it, the money into it, and they gonna sell it for 240,000. So I started learning then. When I learned that play was that money is made being early to the party, and the more information you have, the more money you make. It costs a premium to be ignorant. Ignorance costs a premium.
What's that? It does. Y'all hear that?
Ignorance costs a premium. The less you know, that's the least. The people that make the most money right now just know more than you. Correct. They have the right information.
Correct.
If I go find me a plot of land, and I get that plot of land for $50,000, and I know what the developer can do with it, and I know all the process that he's gonna go through, I can sell that plot of land to him for $300,000, and he know he gonna make $1 million on the back end. But guess what? The realtor doesn't know. The realtor don't know that. The realtor just trying to get their 3% commission. Right. The title company just trying to get their commission. Everybody has a hand in the pot, but the people that really make the money are the ones that know how to find deals, and the people that know how to structure deals, and then the person on the back end that know what to do with the deal. So you want to be one of those people. You either want to find a deal and structure it and learn that piece, or you want to be the person that know what to do with it. And so that's how I started learning. When I was on my mom's couch, I started learning how to find real estate deals, and the investors gave me the game.
What's crazy, man, I contribute that to, there's a quote in the Bible that says, ignorance to the word is no excuse. So if you ignorant to this knowledge here, and you complain why you ain't making no money, there's no excuse, because it's right there. You just got to go search it, or align yourself with the people who can fit in with it. Because that will be given to you, but you still need to align yourself with the people who have that knowledge so you can be on par with that, man. So that's crazy, man. So it's crazy how you was able to grab the game for real estate and still apply it to what you're doing on the internet too, because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, like, it was tough for me because I had people saying, "Why did he leave Navy? He don't know what he's doing in life. He's
what they say.
He's all over the place. He doesn't know." But to me, I was just swinging. Because I started looking at how much baseball players are making, right? Mookie Betts, shout out to him. You got to bat a 300 to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. That means that you can step to that plate. They throw 100 pitches at you, you just got to hit 30 of them. So I'm like, well, if they multi-millionaires and they only got to be 30% good, I got to be 30% good. So I just got to I got to swing more. And that's all I started doing. I started swinging a lot of fucking bats. I started stepping to the plate. I'm like, all right, this e-commerce thing, okay, this. And you start realizing that all businesses are really the same. They all are, the companies that make the most money have the most attention. The influencers that make the most money have the most attention. Drewski, how was he able to make more than Kevin Hart? Drewski just came out, 3-4 years ago? He probably been doing comedy his whole life, but we really just heard about him 3-4 years ago. It took Kevin Hart read his book 15 years. Drewski has so much attention that he had an 8-figure tour deal.
Because of attention.
People want to fight Floyd Mayweather their whole life. They never get a shot. You give Jake Paul, you get some attention, now you fighting Floyd.
Exactly how it was.
So
Jake Paul was an internet sensation. Let's make it happen. Not marketing genius. Marketing genius. Man, bro, you dropping some dimes down for everybody, man. Hopefully they picking this up. Man, so you didn't develop that, you got your groove. What was the next step for you? Because I know, before you even got into the whole YouTube business, as you're still getting things in order.
Mm-hmm.
You're at your mom's crib right now.
Right.
All right, so when you say
I'll be 31 Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but during that time, I was 24, 25.
You got started, like, kind of when that shit started happening for you, or just...
Oh, no, I've always been, like, I sold knives door to door at, like, 17 years old. So I've always, but I struggle with what am I good at?
Okay.
Like, okay, I grew up wanting to be an attorney just because my cousin was like, you should be an attorney. I'm 9 years old. So my whole life, I'm thinking I'm going to law school.
Right.
And then you get, like, Harvard comes, senior year, junior year of high school, you get offered to Harvard to play ball. I'm like, Harvard Law School. So I'm thinking the whole time, I'm gonna go to school and be an attorney. So I didn't know, I was really always an entrepreneur. Right. Elementary school, I'm selling candy. I'm going to Walmart neighborhood market, buying in bulk. I'm coming home with all these ones. I'm buying Jordans in middle school, my own Jordans, my own Air Forces. So I've always been an entrepreneur. I think for me, it started clicking when I started reading those books and realizing that, everyone, you can be an author, but the people that really make money are the people that know how to write copy. And if you don't know what copy is, sales copy is selling with words, selling in printmanship. So if you read a tweet and it goes viral, that's copy. Okay. If you look at a magazine ad, if you look at a billboard, if you look at a caption, that's copy. Mm-hmm. Rappers are really good copywriters. They write and it makes you feel them. Right. And so I started saying, well, I don't want to be an art, because most authors are broke. I want to be a copywriter. I want to learn how to sell with my words. I want to create a product and start putting words behind it and make people feel this product and buy it. And it's amazing how it all happened. But yeah, so for me, it's always been happening. It's just kind of walking into who you are. That's when it really changed. But to answer your question, Savage, yeah, I'm still on mom's couch at this point. I get my first deal in 30 days. Now that's not normal. Doing deals, we talking real estate. But what I did was I didn't have a car at the time. I hit my best friend up. He working at Planet Fitness. I'm like, yo, come pick me up. Quit your job. Come pick me up every day, Monday through Friday. We're going to go drive around. I got the high zip codes in Nashville. We're going to drive around. We're going to write down these addresses. We're going to cold call these owners. And we're going to make 10 bands. And it's right before holidays. Niggas trying to get some money.
Right.
He quit his job. He came and got me.
Well, first of all, he trusted in you.
Yeah, he believed in me. Yeah, he was with me since like 9 years old. So he knew that okay, if he's saying this, we're gonna make this money.
Yeah.
And so, man, it was a grind. We ended up closing the deal before holidays, but we had an LLC, Music City Cash Buyers, but it wasn't even an LLC. We didn't have a bank account. We didn't have EIN. We didn't have none of that.
Right.
So we get a check to Music City Cash Buyers, and we can't cash it. And it's holidays. We done made all these promises. So yeah, that's a whole nother story. Shout out to Navy Federal. They ended up, because I was in the Navy, they ended up cashing it. But yeah, a lot of, man, all my lessons learned in business were learned by just doing. I think so many people look for like a get rich quick or like a quick solution that they don't understand. Like, man, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just get active.
And then those answers will come to you when you learn along the way.
Man.
Taking that first step.
That first step. I mean, even with our story, Candace, like, you know, I told you a little bit about it, bro. Like, we only been in this 4 months, bro.
That's
And,
crazy.
You know, even though me and you have been talking about it a while ago, we just run across that right person and they see the same vision as you got, and then boom, we just skyrocketing. Hunger and drive. And we just going at it, man. Like, just like with your friend. Like, he trusts you right there. He, oh, what? Oh, I know Billy on some stuff, so he went on to quit the job. Trust what you're saying. Yeah, I make that 10 band. Like I said, shout out to Navy Federal.
And I think people look at me and see, and I'm so quiet, man. They don't even know those stories like that of like, man, this man was driving around cold calling, knocking on doors, eating cookies at people's house to get there. Because that's just how I move. I'm very, I like to say, we talk about the spiritual tip. I just go when I get that message.
Yeah. No, what's that?
And so to get into the YouTube, if you hear everything I told, the journey of the online, learning how to market, learning how to sell online, learning how to do real estate, all I did was I took all those things and put them together.
Okay.
That's all I did. I realized that, okay, everything is going digital. Before even COVID talk, you could start seeing where the attention was going.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's online. Everybody got a phone in their hand. What do kids do? They got an iPad. They're on YouTube. So I started seeing, okay, all right, the media is evolving. So when I saw Elon Musk, everybody saw he bought Twitter, right? They don't understand this man bought the world's largest newspaper.
Literally.
The world's largest news. How many people do you see walk around a newspaper anymore?
Right.
But you see them on Twitter. That's a newspaper.
That's how they get the information.
Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is like the world now. When they say Meta, it's a reason they say that, because you can be in you can check on your family there. I ain't even got to call you and say happy birthday.
Right. I know the word meta means something. It means I can't.
I'll look it up one day too. It's just to see.
Yeah.
I forgot though.
But it has something to do with what you're saying.
Then you think Instagram is a magazine, right? Instagram, you tap, you like flipping a mate and you get hit with an ad, right? And so then I was like, well, YouTube, that's the new TV. And the most profitable form of advertising is television.
What's that?
So that means, what is YouTube going to be in a couple years? The most profitable way to advertise. So I started getting my stake early, but
So how was that first endeavor with YouTube, man? Because I know this is gonna have the audience also captivated by you, by how you step right into the YouTube world. Because me and you've had our talk. You know, we monetize now, thank God. But getting to that point, I was like, man, somebody throw me a bone. You know what I mean? But how was that first leap into YouTube? Were you like, okay, this is gonna be even more of a life change?
Man, first off, I gotta give a shout out to my team. We did 1.6 million last year.
Shout
I counted on my subs. We have over 3 million subs across our channels. We are now digital real estate developers. So we actually build channels for investors. So if you are an athlete, you're an influencer, you're a doctor, it doesn't matter. You want to start having some digital real estate, we'll build that for you. We also flip channels. And so I also have my own portfolio now. But the leap for me with YouTube, it started, I actually didn't take YouTube serious, I'm gonna be honest. Because I was in my real estate bag. I'm doing real estate, I'm doing marketing. So I had an advertising agency.
Okay.
And I was seeing how much money was being spent to get customers. So if one of my clients had a wig business, well, I want to sell more wigs. So she put $1,500 into Facebook, made $15,000. I'm like, her business basically is scaled because she's paying Facebook for attention.
You're absolutely right. A good friend of mine, actually, he's the one that put me up on game even with Instagram. Like, even though a lot of our views are organic, some ones is not so much. When you boost, you're giving favoritism towards you with Instagram by doing that. A lot of people don't know that. So you're investing, you're paying.
Yeah, it's a pay to. I mean, I don't think people understand though. These social media platforms are free, but attention ain't free.
Right.
So Instagram does not care about the people that's sitting there posting content all day. They care about the people that's pushing money into their ad program, because that's how they make money. And so you have to look at it the way you look at it is, well, do I want to get paid for attention, or do I want to get paid for the attention I have? Well, do I want to pay for attention, or do I want to get paid for attention?
Mm-hmm.
And one of those can scale a lot more. It's kind of like a house. You know, everybody got their grandma and grandpa that bought that house, and they got that one house that they passing down to the family. Is that really an investment? Because ain't nobody making money from this house. We all living in this house. The house beat up. Ain't nobody did no work on it. Right. And the house really worth probably like $1 million now, but y'all ain't even pulling out the equity. That's how content creators are. They not realizing that you still working, you living in your house. You may be making money, you using your face, but how fast can you really go? How far can you really go? It's a burnout that'll happen eventually. You doing pranks, you doing all this. Eventually there's a burnout. The way you counter that is you start buying YouTube channels. Channels that have nothing to do with it. We call them faceless channels. Channels that have nothing to do with your personality, nothing to do with your personal brand at all. If I want to go talk about cars, I can go buy a channel about cars. If I want to talk about football, I can buy a football channel. It's real estate. And so when people wake up and start realizing that attention is the new currency and attention is now on social media, they'll start changing their investment strategies. They already have. I'm just early to the party, and I'm now putting people on game.
Right.
The attention is on YouTube, the attention on Instagram. Stop giving Instagram all your attention. Get from behind that camera and start buying these pages. I mean, I pay pages myself right now on Instagram, faceless pages. I pay these pages to promote my stuff because it's the magazine, right? What did people used to do in Jet Magazine? I want to be in Jet Magazine. Right. Put my business in Jet Magazine. Right. So it's the same thing with Instagram. It's the same thing with YouTube. It's the same thing with Twitter. Social media is real estate now. And it's the best type of real estate because you can do it from anywhere in the world.
Man. Oh.
You can wake up, go to sleep, you making money. You can go spend time with your kids, you making money. It's a lifestyle thing. And I think what people are so used to hustle culture right now. They think that you gotta work. They're not understanding that it's working smarter, not harder.
Correct. Man. You dropping some game right now, man. So as you started to invest into YouTube, Instagram, paying people, paying platforms, excuse me, what was that first purchase, even with that would like make you scale up in the YouTube world?
I just want to ask, so you never had a personal brand YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do.
You started? Or?
No, I do. So I started out my YouTube channel. You can go check it out now. It has like 2,000 or 3,000 subs. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about is like, well, this man don't even care about his personal brand because he got 20 channels. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I experimented. That's when I started learning. That's why I started learning. And you can check me on YouTube at William Beaird. That's Beaird. That's when I started experimenting. So I'm like, okay, I'm posting this video. Why is it not going viral? I'm posting this content. Why is it not going viral? And then you start experimenting. You start learning. And the game with YouTube is all attention. It's two things: getting attention and keeping it. If your YouTube channel is not really blowing up, it's because you're not getting attention. Well, what is getting attention? That's the overall video idea. What am I talking about in this video? And that's your title. What's the caption? Like what is gonna make people click? And that's the thumbnail. So all my attention started going to that. And then we focus on what the content actually is. Because if nobody's clicking, it don't matter how great your video is. If nobody's clicking. But yeah, so I do have personal accounts. My Twitter is William Beaird _ Facebook is William Beaird. Instagram is Faceless YouTube Channels. And then if you wanna reach out, I'm always there, man. I'm always giving a game. You can DM me. If you have some advice, you need some advice for your channels. But yeah, back to what were you saying about the
basically saying like so now you in the YouTube world and you're making hit. What was that first Juggernaut deal that you did with YouTube that put you up like, okay, I can really start flipping hard and stuff now?
Okay, that's a great question. So my first channel actually flopped. It was I had paid one of the gurus to like partner with them because I'm like, they got the game. I'm point A to point B. It was Grand Theft Auto 6 channel.
Okay.
It's 4 years ago. Grand Theft Auto 6 still ain't out.
Right.
So I'm like 30K in. I'm like, okay, I know this works because people are making money doing it. And then I started a celebrity drama channel.
Okay.
And celebrity drama is nice because you can leverage Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You can leverage Krishan Rock, Blueface. You have all these people that already have attention. Kim K, Kanye West. People, if only 2,000 people know Billy, know me, but millions know Kanye and Kim. So I can leverage them and start making money. Man, my celebrity drama channel took off. And I was like, you know what? I bet I could sell this. And lo and behold, somebody wanted to buy it. So I'm like, damn, you can actually flip these channels too. So then after I sold that channel, I went in and I just started, I went on a buying spree. Bought a bunch of channels, soccer channels, bought a bunch of channels. And I had to realize too that you gotta be careful about these sites. So I was basically experimenting. I'm like, okay, well, some of these sites, they got scammers on here, and you buy channels, you can scam out of money. So that's what led me to create the marketplace Channelly.io. So everything I'm talking about right now, if you wanted to actually just start making passive income day one, you go to my website, buy a channel, and we manage it for you. And we scale it for you. So everybody talks about passive income, but I've done all this. I've done Airbnb, I've done the Turo, I've done none of that's passive. Airbnb, you're gonna get headache after headache. Turo, headache, people stealing cars. If you're doing e-commerce, low profit margins because you gotta deal with returns, you gotta deal with shipping the product, you gotta know paid ads. So many skills that go into that. So when I say the only way to make passive income right now that I'm doing, that I've heard of, is YouTube channels.
Nah, it's making sense, man. It's making sense because it's crazy. You said about the celebrity drama. I've noticed even on our page, like, you know, I know how important the shorts are, and it might not always be in line with the brand sometimes, but I know if I post something like Boosie or something that I had on my own, all the footage I had when I was at his crib, or any celebrities in town, man, we'd get 5,000 views on the shorts just off of that.
Just off the shorts.
Yeah. So you really got me thinking like, hey, we might have to sell some of this drama.
Yeah, I mean, right now I got on the website, I got a celebrity drama. I got two of them. One has 72,000 subs. That channel is $6,000. I have another one that has about 3,000 subs. That channel is 5,000.
Okay.
Those channels come with a team. And when I say team, I mean a writer. They're going to write the scripts. A voiceover artist that's going to speak over the script. An editor that's going to edit all the clips for you. And a thumbnail designer. So the best thing you can do if you're trying to grow your podcast or you're trying to grow your YouTube is I'm gonna go over here and just buy me a little digital real estate over here, grab me a channel for like $5K, have the team manage it, have the team run it. I'm gonna make money with this, and then now I can go buy another celebrity channel. I can go buy another one, and so now you kind of limiting your risk and you're increasing your cash flow. That's how I'm able to move. So if we talk about my journey, the chokehold came from not having streams of income. Streams of income, we call them streams because they flow freely. So if you want to flow freely, what do you need? You need multiple streams. So if you're only relying on the very thing you're doing to pay you, you're gonna still be in a chokehold because now there's pressure there. Now if this thing fails, I fail.
Correct.
And I had to eliminate my. That's why I chilled on the personal brand and said, well, let me build this portfolio of channels because now I can do whatever I want to do. I can get on camera and say fuck whoever I want to say fuck. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody gatekeep me because my channels have already got to the place where now
they're gonna make money forever.
I own the internet.
Yeah.
That's how I'm coming. I own the internet. So how you gonna cancel me? I can cancel you.
Right.
It's harder because you gotta have that it factor, right? Like why are people following you? Why are people listening to you? And some people they're not even themselves. And they can't be themselves. And that's tough. To have to wake up every day and be somebody else to get followers, to get attention. Right. So it's just best to, like, if you're going to do a personal brand, just talk about what you do. Right. Talk about your journey. Right. Like, this is what I'm doing today. This is document the process. Mm-hmm. I did that a lot, but I kind of deleted. I went back and deleted all of it. Yeah. So now when people see it, like, oh, he just do YouTube. But no, I had an advertising agency. Mm-hmm. I taught a lot of people how to trade. There's people now that were living paycheck to paycheck and now own gyms and now they have families and I had clients that now they retire from their jobs. They do e-commerce full time. So I changed a lot of lives, but now it's like I gotta pour that into me.
Right.
As well. Investing back into yourself.
Right. So would you say that because you hear that the best way to do something really big is just focus on one thing and then just go. How do you feel about that? Because I know it sounds like you were in multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I will say I had multiple 6-figure companies, and until I looked at the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your money is made from 20% of things you do. Until I looked at that, I'm like, okay, if I just cut all this out and just focus in on this, then I can have 7 figures. So when people say focus on one thing, I feel that. I actually read the book, The One Thing. That is true to a certain extent. I always say write down everything you want to do. Money doesn't matter, and just know you're going to get it at some point in life. Write down everything you want to do. Put a number 1 to 10. Whatever's the 10, focus on that. It's intent and belief that you can get that within 6 months. So if I want to own a yacht, if I don't believe I can buy a yacht, a multi-million-dollar yacht in 6 months, don't focus on getting that yacht. I got a podcast. I know I got a camera. I can start there. That's a 10. Go there. Focus on that. The most realistic, because that's where the energy, that's where you're going to have the belief. You're going to know you can do it, because if you don't have the belief, it's already done regardless. You're not going to get it. So I always say focus on that 10, that whatever that 10 is. And for me, I looked at everything I was doing, like where I want to get to, YouTube would get me here. That's my 10. And that's when I locked on it. But I got plenty of things that that's in the works. Like production has always been what I wanted to do. Movies, acting. We talking like production company. I'm really building a production studio. So all my channels that I got people building for me and partners that come in, we're really just building a production studio. Right. Your channel is about cooking. Your channel is about space. Your channel, and next thing you know, I just built Netflix without no production studio, without any cameras, without any of that tech stuff. Just straight people in Africa, Canada, Europe running channels. So yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's to have. Is it we rolling?
Yeah,
we rolling.
It's a blessing, man, to have what I call depth of vision. I got this from Bill Gates. They were like, well, how did you know the internet would be what it is? Like, how did you know that the internet would take off? We said, well, I have depth of vision, and depth of vision is being able to see something seeing something for what it is, but what it can become. So if I see an acorn, most people just see, oh, that's something for a squirrel. Somebody else will say, well, I see a tree. Someone else will say, well, I see a forest. Someone else will say, I see real estate development because we're going to chop this wood. So that's depth of vision. Some people just look at social media and say, well, that's just social media. I'm just having fun with it. I look at social media, I say, that's real estate. Everything is real estate. You go to a basketball game, where do you paying a lot of money to sit courtside? Why? Because that's real estate. It's proximity. You see all those companies advertising on the court. Why? That's real estate. Everything is real estate. So why wouldn't social media be real estate? We all trying to fight for attention. We all fighting for eyes. And so when we talk personal brand, you're fighting for attention. You're running on a treadmill every day. Every day. How long can you run on that treadmill? How long can you keep that up before you start being like, man, I'm burnt out? But if you start buying these channels and you start building you a portfolio instead, that can go all day because you're not doing anything. Just investing the money. And so we talked. I said I was going to give a strategy how you can get started if you don't have money.
Let's get it.
So if you don't have money, that's what we call flipping channels. You can actually go find deals for investors like myself. You just go to YouTube. That's where the deals are, right? That's where channels are. And you reach out to people asking if they want to sell their channel. Or you can go to channel. If you want to do the fast way, you go to channel.io today. Look at, okay, I see a channel. That channel is 5,000. I got a homie that I know for a fact he got 5,000. I'm gonna sell it to him for 7,500. So you make you a little money off the top, right? He buys a channel. Guess who's gonna manage it for them? Channelly. Guess who's gonna run it for them? Channelly. You did that one deal. Guess what? You go do another transaction. That's why I try to tell people, build you a triangle. If you're really trying to get out of poverty, or if you're really trying to figure out how to escape the rat race, build you a triangle. You need a way to make consistent income. Once you make consistent income, you need to be able to flip that income. And I'm not talking sports betting. I'm not talking lottery. I'm talking about a proven way to flip it. So you're making consistent income, flipping these channels to investors. Then what you're going to do, you're going to go buy your own channel and you're going to make it better, improve it, and flip it, right? You can have Channelly do that for you. So now you bought a channel for $5K. We sell it 3 months later for $50K. So you're going to take that money and then you're gonna store it. So now you're gonna go buy channels that are already passively making money, bigger channels that's making 10K a month, 20K a month. If you keep that triangle simple, that triangle method, that triangle formula, how can you really lose? You got a system bringing in consistent income. You got a system that's flipping that money for you, turning the dollar into two. And then you got a system that's bringing you passive income. You're storing that money somewhere where you ain't got to work for it. It's really that simple. I think people complicate it, though.
They make it complicated.
They make it complicated.
He simplified it for y'all right there, man. Billy, man, we got to keep doing this, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to.
For
we
sure.
got to, man. Look, because you dropped a lot of game for people. You know, we can be on here 2 hours, 3 hours, but we got to make them more intrigued to come back and hear some more, bro.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you at, man, so they can tap in with you and you can, either sell the dream or teach the dream. Either one.
Yeah. So for me, man, I like to say my whole thing is point A to point B. Wherever your current situation is, hit me up. I'm going to put together a blueprint for you. I'm going to get you to your desired situation because I've been at the point A. I've been zero, building a business from zero, building a business to scratch. And now I'm at the place now where I can actually reach back and teach people. But some people are at certain stages. They're not ready to be working directly with me. You ain't ready to flip channels yet. You may not be ready to go buy a channel, right? So reach out to me. If you're a newspaper person, you're on Twitter, you can reach out at William Beaird _ that's WILLIAMBEAIRD _ If you're a magazine person, so you on Instagram, Faceless YouTube Channels. That's FACELESS YouTube Channels. If you're a Facebook person, you can reach out to William Beaird, just first name, last name. My YouTube, William Beaird, I give a lot of game on YouTube. I mean, I got a whole masterclass on there on YouTube. And so look at your current situation, draw out your timeline. So maybe you're making, you have a 9 to 5, and you're like, man, I just need an extra 3K to 5K a month. Okay, well, come on, start flipping these channels, right? We're going to teach you how to flip channels to investors without using your own money, right? I got the book dropping, so you hit me up for watching this podcast. I ain't even put this out yet. Yeah. So if you're watching this podcast, because Savage is my guy, and if you're watching this podcast, what I'm going to do is I'll give you a special pre-order link. You can pre-order the book. I'm going to be teaching you how to actually do this, how to buy and sell YouTube channels without using your own money. No money involved, right? I just made 10K in 3 days last week doing the same thing that I'm teaching in this book. So this can change people's lives. So if you're watching this podcast and you actually DM me, what's it is, Rob the Savage, what's the keyword?
Rob the Savage podcast, the keyword, we'll make it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll have everything savage. Keyword savage.
Keyword savage. Yeah. So I know that you tapped in, you locked in. Keyword savage. I'm going to give you that pre-order link, and I'm going to give you a special blueprint. I even give you a 15-minute call. It may be with myself or somebody from my team. You never know. 15 minutes of me just rapping with you because I needed that. Some people, when they just need a conversation, they just need somebody to know I believe in you.
That's it.
Like, man, you can do this. Some people just need to know, like, you're not stuck. There's a way out. And I'm going to be real. I'll keep it real with you. So if you get on a call with me and you tell me, hey, man, like, I ain't got no money and you got this whole mindset thing going, I'm going to tell you, you need to get your mindset right first off. Right? So you hit me up on social media. I got the book dropping. The book is big. That's huge because with the book, I'm also going to have an interactive course, show you how to set all this up.
My dog an author. Ain't that crazy?
Man, it's going to set all this up for you. I'm going to put this out there right now. I know it's going to be, I'm going to probably get a lot of DMs, right? 10 people, man. I'm trying to get 10 people their first 10K in 30 days because I've done it. It's proven, it's documented. I got a guy right now named Anderson. Anderson has made 100,000 already with me this year. Wow. And all he's done is went and found deals because right now investors want cash flow. Mm-hmm. Real estate market's in shambles, stock is in shambles, interest rates up. YouTube would make sense. We talking about where can you spend $130,000 and make $15,000 a month? There's no real estate property doing that.
Nah.
You're not even finding none in Nashville for $130,000 a month.
That's the top market.
You're not finding none of that right now. So I'm doing a birthday special. I said my birthday is Monday.
Shout out.
Right.
31, right?
31. So 31, man. If you hit me up, I'm gonna give you the book $31. $31 pre-order copy because it's going to be $97 because the game is all going to be in there. I mean, it's the whole roadmap, the interactive course, everything is going to be in there. So you hit me up with the Savage, the keyword $31 birthday special. Faceless YouTube channels. It's be Facebook, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. Just hit me with Savage.
Exclusive. One thing. Yes. Thank you, Candace. Hold on, before I even get to that, Candace. You got anything you want to ask?
Well, I mean, really, you put me on the spot like that. But I mean, I do want to ask you just before you go. I mean, Sue, like, I want to ask if you can mentor me. Yeah, but I mean, for real, because I mean, like, I do own this production company, but I'm definitely not where I want to be at. And it's just like, yeah, I do this YouTube, running artists, and I'm just like, okay, I just like, you can be 100% better. And it's just like, I want to be around people that are already doing it, already know the game. And it's just like, I would just love to just be around, have conversations, ask questions, have an access, and just, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the birthday special too. I'll send you the consultant link, and like I said, I do 15 minutes calls because all I need is really 15 minutes. You tell me where you're at, where you want to get to. All right, that's how I can get you there. This is the plan you got to go with. And most of the time, just being very transparent. It's really a financial thing. Like, to get to where the people like the Alex and Mosey's and the people we see on social media is making money, they just invested. That's it. And a lot of people, they will say, well, man, I can't even invest that. But you can. I cut out hookah. I cut out alcohol. That's a little extra money right there. Or I'm going to go, how can I make 10 bands? And if your price is 5, how can I make 10? Well, go find the channel, flip it to me, get them 10 bands. I think people just, they let the pressures get to them. They think, well, man, I can't find a way. That's one thing I never let happen. I always walk in the way of, man, it's gonna happen. No, it's gotta happen.
And by finding channel, you mean like just DMing or messaging somebody and seeing if they want to sell?
Right. So in the book, actually, I'm going to teach you my exact system. So it's on autopilot. So we actually have deal finders. We have virtual assistants that will reach out. They build this list and they reach out to all the channel owners and they, hey, do you want to sell? And then, so now when a deal comes to you, if you're in our ecosystem, if you're in our program, we're going to negotiate for you. So it's literally just really making an investment, just getting into the system. Right? But we show you how to set that system up for yourself. And some people, they do that full time. They just find deals for investors. And then when you're ready, you take a step, you take it up a notch. You say, well, I'm going to start buying my own channels now. Right? Because you don't want to, you never want to get into the flip mentality. I think as a culture, we get too caught up in flipping. I'm doing parlays. I'm doing this. I'm going to flip, turn a dollar into two. Wealth is made from buying and holding, not selling. You don't build wealth by selling anything. The only reason I sell is for capital purposes. I'm trying to build capital. That's it. So, yeah, man, the book, everything's going to be there. Because I'm at the point now, and I'm like, I'm enjoying family. I'm about to go to Colorado, be on the mountains and go, and Boulder, skiing and
Aspen.
So yeah, you gotta catch the book at this point, man.
Most definitely.
What is the investment to get into your program and everything?
Yeah. So right now, I've been actually doing one-on-ones with people for 5,000. It's 12 weeks, and what we do during those 12 weeks is we put together that strategy we talked about. If you are wanting to, some people come in and they're like, I just want to learn how to flip channels. Well, okay, we give them a channel. They go to Channel. We give them a channel that's already ready. So they basically paying the $5,000 for mentorship. And then they flip the channel 90 days later. So they make their money back and they say, well, now I want to start building a portfolio. So we teach them how to do that as well. We also have investors that they want to just have something built for them. So we do 2 channels for $20,000. And it gets started like a $10,000 deposit. So that's actually where we're at right now with digital real estate. That's actually very inexpensive when you think 3-5 years from now, when everybody's rushing to the phone to have a YouTube channel, who's going to be the landlords? If everybody's a tenant, who's going to be landlords? It's the people that have faceless channels, people that have that portfolio. So all my channels are just going up in value. They appreciate every year. So I'm buying everything. Everything is a discount right now. YouTube channels are severely undervalued.
Hey, I wish.
What are those parameters? Stuff like, well, this is their channel that I'm going to buy. Like, what is that?
For me, I look at the type of channel it is. I look at the work that goes into it. So I have an F1 channel, and that channel is based off news. I don't know anything about F1, so I rely heavily on the team because the team, they know F1, but they have to have a video out. Like, I mean, the writer is done within 4 hours, the editor, everything has to be done within a day, everything. So that's a lot of like high pressure stress channel. It does well, makes about $3,300 a month, but to me, I would never buy another channel like that. It's a learning lesson. Anything dealing with news is always going to be a lot of work. It's going to be run like a business. It's constant. But there's a channel called Evergreen Channels. Now, these are channels I actually have on my website right now. There's a channel called Cartoon Verse, $3,000 channel. That channel is what we call Evergreen because it recaps cartoons. So Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, it recaps the entire season, all seasons. So can you imagine being able to know what happened in Dexter's Laboratory and just watching a YouTube video for an hour? Evergreen, because everybody's always going to search cartoons. They're always going to search. So it's evergreen, and it's low maintenance. You do like 4 videos a month. So yeah, that's a great flip channel. That's a channel you would buy, and you just pay the team, improve the content, and then you make your money. That's the best way to learn though. YouTube is the flip a channel. It's the best way to learn YouTube because you already got a team, so you don't have to worry about putting a team together. And at that point, you're the executive producer, so you gotta look at things from the top down. Okay, how are these titles? How are these thumbnails? How much is this channel making? What did they do well? And you improve it, and that's how you relearn the game. Then you go back to your personal brand, and you take those same principles, and that's how you grow. I think people are doing it backwards. If you're trying to grow a personal brand, it's a little harder because you got to be on camera, show your thumbnails. You got to do thumbnails this way. You gotta edit this way. But when you're doing faceless content, I got a team that's making it. You just gotta have a budget for them. And sometimes the channel pays for the team. Right, exactly. So yeah, it's way easier way to do things. I think people don't have the information.
Or patience. Man, look, thank you, bro. I gotta hit you with these 3 savage questions right quick, man. Okay. So here's the first one. First savage question, bro.
Okay.
You have accomplished a lot in the last, I'll say 2 or 3 years. What's the next goal for you?
Man, next goal for me is I'm Andrew Carnegie out here. I want to control and own the most attention in the world. Okay. Without anyone knowing, like Andrew Carnegie was he was a killer, man. He was so cold that like he had that depth of vision that, okay, if I control the railroads and transportation, that's where the attention was at the time. So the steel company. So I'm seeing attention now is like oil. So for me, I'm setting my family up. We got these oil mines. This is ours. Like this is your channel. This is your channel. This is your channel. And then we take that money and we put it into commercial real estate. So my play right now is building up as much attention as possible, buying as much attention as possible, and then traveling the world, speaking about it, changing lives. I have my nonprofit starting, Founders Keepers. It's really important to me. I want to start helping single parents because that's what I was raised by a single mom, right? Reaching back and being able to help kids get to college, and even if it's not college, coming into our company, Content and Cash Flow, and learning how to do production, learning how to start these channels, learning how to get some skill sets, learning how to market.
Yeah, I hear that. That was amazing. What's another question for you? My savage question. You got a lot of success. But what scares you right now?
Man, I'm gonna be honest, and it's gonna surprise a lot of people, but my girl, man, I'm not gonna, we're gonna keep that low key.
I got you.
Because I was at a point where I'm like, man, nobody can tell me nothing. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. And it wasn't even on no cocky stuff. It was like I would meet women. And they would always get kind of in a shell. Yeah. Because I was overbearing. Like, this man is going somewhere. Yeah. Like, he talking about stuff that's, like, scary. Yeah. But now I've met somebody that talks about stuff that scares me. Wow. And it's like, and it's at a point where, like, if you're not on your game, she gonna call it out. Yeah. If you doing something like this, she gonna call it out. And it's like, that scares me. But not in a bad way. But I'm like, I don't have fear of a lot of stuff. I jumped out of planes. I'll go do anything. But that's for men out there watching. Get your woman that scares you, cause you gonna do right. You ain't gonna do none of that side. Ain't no side nothing. Right. Listen, I'm telling you. Right. the fear. She have a
fear.
dream, and that dream is real, and she can see what you're doing.
Man,
You better get your woman that scare you.
He preaching. Yeah, we scared.
Ain't gonna scare you right into success. It'll scare you right into some
Man,
billions.
well, it's terrible right now.
I see her looking through.
Right.
I'm scared too.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Man.
scared too. She
Right.
can hear people.
Right.
Oh,
Man, so the third savage question, man. What do you see yourself? And I really wanted this is a big question because you know you're finna be 31.
Mhm.
What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Man, people used to ask me that question. I used to have it all planned out, but I started realizing, man, enjoy the present. Cause I got so caught up that I didn't even enjoy my kids because I was so caught up in I gotta get here, I gotta get there. 5 years, a 3-year plan. I'm gonna be retired at 30. And I was in Dallas. I actually retired. I took a year off, and it was the most boring time of my life. And now I'm in rebuild. I had to rebuild all this stuff. But man, 5 years. I just hope I'm being every day I wake up, I want to be an honorable man. That's my number one goal, is be an honorable man. I feel like if you wake up and have a goal to be honorable, you ain't gonna be on no shicey shit. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna get caught up in no shit. Because I want to wake up and be an honorable man. So in 5 years, I want to know that my family loves me. I've impacted millions of lives, and that I did everything that I was supposed to. Not what I wanted to do, but what I was supposed to do. We talk about spiritual.
Right.
Me following that journey, doing what I'm
That's a real
led to do, what I'm called to do. Yeah. We didn't
right.
talk about the shrooms journey, man. I'm royalty out here. I didn't even know I was royalty in the spiritual world.
Hey.
I didn't even know that, but you gotta
Man.
You gotta know who you are. That's part of the reason why success was so like, people see me and say, man, you're so successful, but I never felt successful. It was like imposter syndrome because I didn't know who I was. And you don't know who you are until personally. I'm not saying go do shrooms. I'm just saying you better do something and figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who you are, people play with you.
Yeah, we step my game. I mean, I'm on the edibles, the weed edibles.
Was this like a one-time thing, or it's just like you kind of continue?
No, I did it one time. That's all I needed. Wow. One time, I took this chocolate frog.
Yeah, what happened?
I played Bob Marley. I'm in Florida. This is like 2 years ago. No, I'm in the bed play some Bob Marley, and I'm like, ain't nothing happening. But time go by, and first thing I felt was the vibration, my natural flow. My body started swaying. I'm like, okay, my flow is really like kind of like a Euro step. That's my flow. Like I can go from this to that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I start understanding my flow. And so if somebody messes up that flow, if I'm doing my Euro and somebody like getting in the way of that, it messes up everything. So I started learning you got to deal with people that can do that. They can go left to right and flow with you. The next trip I had was I started seeing the world as it was like a journey, right? So my ancestors took me through this journey, and they showed me that if you live in the world, you will never. This is what's gonna happen. And we went into think about like a honeycomb. So one pocket you go into it, you see somebody sitting there watching TV. One pocket you see somebody sitting there smoking. One pocket you see somebody addicted to sex. And they was like, if you get into this world and you live in this world, you never have what's up here for you. And they took me up to where I guess it was the upper level, and I had all these cars, this mansion. I was royalty, and they was telling me, we've been waiting on you. You're not you are too in the world. We're trying to get your attention. Because I always saw 420. I see 420 still every day. And I'm like, what does this mean? And it was like, you need to get back onto your spiritual journey because somebody's trying to reach you. And so I took the shrooms. They told me directly what I was supposed to be doing, who you are. I saw, at the time, I even saw a lady that was saying, this is your wife. I was opening the Rolls Royce door for her. And I was like, man, so I'm going to be married and all this. Because I actually had a problem with marriage. I was like, what's the point of marriage? I'm around all these people saying, why would you get married? Like, don't get married. You're going to be unhappy. I'm like, at my point, I'm like, what's the point of it? But I'm struggling with it because, like, I want to do that. I want to build this family, this empire. But you keep getting told, like, what's the purpose of it? And so everything came to me then. It came to me that this will help maybe some people out there that's trying to figure out with their relationship what's going on. A man is a gardener. You take it Adam and Eve, right? Eve is a garden, right? So the woman is a garden. So as a man, you get seeds, the message from the source. These are your seeds. It's your job to plant those seeds into your garden, to your woman. she will multiply and cultivate. She will multiply and you will reap a harvest. But if you're planting seeds into the wrong garden, you won't reap a harvest. And I was planting seeds into the wrong gardens. And when I did shrooms, that woke me up and was like, oh, I'm planting too many seeds, too many places. You need to tend to your garden. And that's why it's important to have one woman and lock in with her, because you can't be out here tending to all these gardens. Plants are, if you ever take care of a plant, a plant,
Each one requires something different.
a plant is not easy to take care of. I went out of town for like a week. I came back, strawberries dead,
Gone.
everything gone.
Yeah.
But you can bring it back to life. And so having that experience made me realize that, okay, it's time to lock in, get therapy, get yourself right. Stop being damaged. Stop coming to these situations damaged. And when you know who you are, you meet the woman that knows who she is, and that's a powerful connection. That's a powerful thing.
Man.
That's a powerful thing. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all better start wasting y'all time with some of these people that's not your garden.
That's real,
You just wasting time. Get them seeds. Take your seeds. Get you that right garden. Start planting those seeds, and watch what happens.
Man,
Watch it.
He didn't drop the game, y'all, man. Billy, I appreciate it, man. I needed that, man. For real, but we all needed to hear that. That was killer, man. Again, let them know where to find you.
Yeah. So you can find me. Don't forget the birthday special. Just DM me Savage. I'm gonna get you that book, Flipping Channel. It's called Flip Channels: How to Buy and Sell YouTube Channels Without Using Your Own Money. You can find me on Facebook at William Beaird, Twitter William Beaird _, Instagram Faces YouTube Channels, YouTube William Beaird, and yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Rob the Savage podcast, man. You got me outside.
Yes, sir, man. We're gonna run this back too, man. For sure. When you get to Colorado and when you get back here,
Y'all gotta come to Colorado, man.
Oh no, that's
mountains.
Let's have. You know, like I said, I got my sister out there.
Yeah.
My niece. So yeah,
we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen. Do a house tour, all that stuff. Yeah.
Hey, stay tuned.